Welcome back to Politics. Scott Moore, Matt Webb.
We are back.
We have some guests with us right now.
We do.
We have Erin.
Erin,
yes. Is it Cross?
Cook.
With
an E. Like cookie.
Cookie.
And Sam Samantha / Metzger.
Yes.
That's
Samantha Metzger, but you can call me Sam.
Definitely slash.
Sam.
Anytime you run into me, just say, "Hey, Sam." I'll be like, "What time and place did we meet?"
So they are with a Turning Point, but they have unique positions within the organization Turning Point. Please describe it.
So we're both field reps. Erin is the field rep for the Georgia territory, so she oversees all Turning Point operations in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
I'm in charge of
on
Kentucky,
the field and off the field.
On and off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm in charge of Kentucky and West Virginia, the Bluegrass territory. So,
Gotcha.
We basically start chapters, Turning Point USA chapters on college campuses, maintain them, bring speakers on campus, all that kind of stuff.
Excellent. Erin, anything to add?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Well, this is going to be really exciting.
I don't wanna get in trouble.
This is supposed to be their show.
It is supposed to be their show.
Yeah, wait, aren't we the ones hosting?
This is the Erin and Samantha show. We're just guests.
Hi, welcome. What's y'all's names again?
No, you gotta. Hey, listen. Part of a podcast is coming up with your name. You got to work on that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, you need some work.
In many areas.
So I'm waiting on a funny story.
Yeah.
A funny story.
Well,
Which one?
So we did a field repping actually in Georgia together last spring. Okay. So, man, do we have some stories from that. We tore up the state, I guess you would say.
Toe it up.
There's this one time...
Only fragments left.
Well, yeah, there was this one time,
at band camp.
We don't go to band camp. There's this one time, though, that Erin, I show up and we go down to Savannah, and she hands me this inflatable hat. Well,
It was St. Patty's weekend.
Yeah, it was St. Patty's Day weekend. She goes, what if you, and then looks over and I already have the hat inflated. We're taking it into the bar. We go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We take it around Tybee, and, everybody knew who we were after 3 hours. 3 hours in that small town.
What would happen? So the purpose of the hat's an inflatable, big, green shamrock hat.
Mm-hmm.
Students would sign the hat, whatever they wanted to, in support of free speech. So it's a free speech hat.
Oh, you had a pen to a student and say free speech.
Yeah, Sam had some pretty crude things on her head.
And you had to keep wearing it around.
Yes.
This kind of sounds like Dick's Last Resort.
So where is the hat now? Did you destroy the hat?
You have it.
I still have it in my room
with the beer poster.
With the beer poster. So I also got a beer poster.
You like beer?
She does like beer. Similar.
Everybody here likes beer.
I don't like beer. If you don't like beer, you're not American.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys are you're rather young.
Mm-hmm.
24, 21, right?
Mm-hmm.
Erin, you're 21. Sam, you're 24. Fresh out of college, this is kind of a new gig for you guys. Where do you take this from here? I mean, what's the end game? What are the aspirations here?
World domination. Always.
I say that so much it's eerie that you just said that. But go ahead.
I mean, I'm not. No, I'm not joking. If the world did what I wanted, it would be perfect.
Oh, okay, narcissist.
Oh my god.
All right, Sam, you go.
Okay, so my dream job is probably being a chief of staff one day. I would really like to be a chief of staff. I really want to go back to college, I guess I should put it. I want to get a master's degree in political science.
Okay.
And learn how to manipulate policy, push it forth throughout. I guess the
you
House
are manipulative.
Yeah, I already have that.
I like that word. Yeah.
But yeah, that I mean, a lot of people don't understand that's the way government works. You push policy in ways that you push policy through.
Yes.
You don't just come up with a law and if it's a good law, it gets passed. No, you have to understand how to maneuver it through the House and Senate.
Yes.
And so that's my dream job. That's my end goal. I'd be perfectly happy doing that.
Have you ever read the book Dance of Legislation?
No, I did read Gatekeepers though.
Okay, I would
she watches
highly
Dancing with the Stars too.
I would highly recommend The Dance of Legislation.
I will read that
by Eric Redmond.
Yeah,
it is a really unique first-hand type account of how policies actually passed. How it gets through the House and the Senate through the eyes of a legislator, team member, but also working with lobbyists. So it's very, very good read.
Yeah, the lobbyist side of it's also fascinating. What a lot of people don't understand about politics or my job is there's a difference between politics and policy.
Mm-hmm.
What Erin and I do every single day, it's literal politics. We're playing off of emotion. We're bringing like the simplest idea, which is conservatism, and introducing it to people.
Yeah.
Zero legislation. We were not pushing anything, but then policy is the legislative side.
Yeah.
So just because we say something like, well, we should lower taxes, like, well, how are we going to do that? And that's one of the most frustrating things about President Trump is he puts something out there and thinks it can just get done, and he doesn't understand. No, there's a legislative process for a good reason.
If he could just change it on Twitter, it would be awesome. Like when he tweets something that's done.
I think the problem with Trump in that regard, to your point, is he comes from this business private sector where he's able to push change through as a CEO, which is, by God, you're going to do it or you're fired.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's in no way is that conducive to politics.
The same thing happened to actually Governor Bevin in Kentucky. He's a businessman. He's very, very smart, full of energy, but he didn't let his business mind, kind of set that to the side, and
he's in a tough race.
He's
now.
in a tough race.
Yep.
He pissed off a lot of teachers the way he talked to them, and it was the way a businessman would talk to them.
Yeah.
It's not the way a governor should talk to them.
Yeah.
However, he is a good governor. Like he's not bad for the state, but he's gotten himself in some hot water because he's acted like a businessman.
Wow.
What's weird is that's what happened to Scott Walker too in Wisconsin.
It really
very
was.
similar. Yeah,
The unions just almost
it was the whole
destroyed him.
teacher thing that messed him up.
Yeah.
So you're going to go back to school to do that.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're voting for Bernie or Warren? Sounds like.
Yeah, your shirt says socialism sucks.
Well, probably not.
Okay,
Because you
probably
get free
not,
school if you vote for those guys.
Well, they're actually what a lot of people don't realize either. There's programs to where I can get my school paid for. If I work for a certain congressman or a senator, they'll pay.
Imagine that.
your
It's already
student.
there.
It's already there.
Wow.
I mean, especially if you go in the public sector or the nonprofit sector, like there are ways you can affordably pay off your student debt. Or prevent it.
I personally love how we're devaluing a college degree anyway.
Oh,
so
we
let's send everybody to college so it's worth
Be sure
absolutely
to get
nothing.
your Russian literature degree.
Yeah, exactly.
What the
So we can pay for that.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
So Erin, how about you? What's the aspirations here?
Political comedian for sure, all the way. If Elizabeth Warren and Bernie can do it with Medicare for all, free college, they're already doing it. I mean, I'm just gonna go with the wave. Trump does it every tweet. I think that I can just hop on.
Wait, you're going to run for office, right?
That is definitely an aspiration.
Okay.
What I would like to do, I guess in the meantime, is I love communications. So I'd like to work within communications and just work in politics. It's a passion of mine.
Gotcha.
I don't believe in career politicians, so I don't want to run for office and then just sit there for years and years and years. So I definitely want to work in politics and do different things. I'm very ADD too, so switching my job would be something that would keep me busy and interested and interactive is definitely something that I personally just look forward to.
She's going to be one of the highest paid communications directors.
Well, let's hear it. You guys were playing a game. Let's hear this.
Oh, all right.
Come on.
All right. So
Let's test her.
Here's the thing.
Test her out.
Time out. If there is anything that you say that is offensive, and you say, "Well, I shouldn't have said that," this is a recorded, so we can edit it out.
Right.
Unless it's so egregiously offensive that we
Yep.
can blackmail over you.
If
We're
it's
going
going to ruin Erin's political career,
keep it,
we're keeping it.
and then you're going to be our little
point.
maintenance
So
for the
no-
rest
so
of
no-
your life.
no blue dress jokes, Erin?
Oh, no. Oh my God!
All right.
Oh my!
All right, so the first scenario.
Whoa. Tell us about what the game is first.
Oh, wait, okay.
That's true.
We're just going to go into the game.
Yeah. Straight to
just
scenario.
catch on.
The game is, and feel free to chime in as well if y'all have a certain scenario.
I can't hear you, so we're good.
Oh yeah.
That's how we
I've
like
given
it.
you my headphones.
The game is basically I throw out a certain scenario, whether Erin's the candidate or her candidate did this.
Yeah.
She has to spin it in a way that we save ourselves. So
how could you save the political career or whatever?
Yeah. Like they make an uh-oh moment. So the first scenario is you as a candidate are walking into a room and there's a bunch of school children. You run into the school children, trip over them, they fall. It looks terrible. What do you do?
Are they moving around a little, wiggling at all?
Are they dead?
Are they deceased?
Are they
Are they
dead?
still blinking?
You tripped face first.
A couple of them have nosebleeds at this point.
So
One of them has a nosebleed.
So
yes.
you just heard. I'll play the mediator here. You just heard this scenario, Erin. How do you respond?
Okay. I'm using Michelle Obama's Get Up and Move campaign. Students are on their iPads too much, and obviously I'm going to shake things up.
Okay, can I play? Here we go. You immediately dropped your hands and do 10 push-ups, and Sandy go, kids, that's how you do it. Stay active.
There you go.
Who was better, Matt?
Yes.
I don't know. I think you start doing the worm like you're breakdancing, teaching everybody to breakdance.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I think you won, Aaron, because
Probably
I took your
because she's
idea
smarter.
and
really
just
like
went
the
funnier.
push-ups.
Right.
I really like the push-ups.
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Listen,
I mean, I get
Sam,
people there, you know.
The less you take Scott's side, the better. I just got to tell you
Okay,
that.
all right.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah,
Huge ego
who's gotten
already.
you this
Huge.
far,
Okay,
Sam?
here we go.
Gotten you this
Loyalty,
far.
okay?
Yes.
Next one,
All right,
next
the
one.
other
Here we
one is, your candidate forgets the name of a donor. Like, literally walks into a room, shakes his hand. His name is Bob. He calls him Jimmy. How do you save it?
Scott, I think you got this one.
I think you had this
Ooh,
one.
pass.
A pass.
Ooh,
No,
listen.
I'm not passing. I think you got a good answer.
Yeah, I liked his answer.
Here we go. So, say it again.
So your candidate walks into a room.
This is a
and
stall
shakes-
technique, by the way.
Oh.
I do that with
Shake
Sam
the
all the
hand.
time. She never gets
yeah,
it.
yeah. And then I changed the subject. Shakes the hand of a big donor and forgets his name.
Hey, guy, how are you?
No, he already did this.
Oh, he already
How
did
do
it.
you save it?
How do you say? Okay,
I never use names because this happens to me
you
so often.
always just say guy or man.
Look, no, we're not
It
talking
has
about
been-
preventative, though. You're talking about
It's already
preventative.
happened.
It's already happened.
It's already happened. How
This
do
is
you
part of
save
being a
it?
communications director. You have to be quick on your feet.
Listen,
You
this
say-
was my answer, not Scott's, by the way.
Oh,
was it
yes,
your
it
answer?
was your
It was
answer.
my answer.
It was your answer.
I say you
I don't
remind me of
remember
like
that.
my favorite person in the world, my grandfather who served in World War II and was like a hero. I'm sorry I got you confused, but I absolutely
You're
know who you are.
lying then. It's my God, you can't lie to him.
Everybody
he said,
lies.
He said that my coffee was switched and it was decaf.
Yeah. I mean, come on, everybody lies.
You realize this morning she's like, Sam, what was that decaf joke about?
You promised you weren't going to bring that up.
I promise nothing.
Shame on you.
Yeah, no,
Shame
I
on
agree
you.
on the decaf thing. I think that because everybody's been there. Everybody's had that happen to them one time or another. They've accidentally drank decaf coffee, and it's been a bad day.
Everybody's had a Sanka moment.
Could you say something like, "Forgive me, I am so bad this early in the morning with names. Remind me again." And they're going to say, "It's Samantha."
But it's
course.
a big
It's the
donor.
governor.
Oh, it's a big
What are you
donor?
talking
Oh.
about?
It's a big.
You've
donor.
forgotten the governor's name? And you're going to say, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names? He's the freaking governor.
Both of my parents are twins. I can say I just don't know what non-twin people are like.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe,
so
maybe.
I
I
say
don't
that
know.
too, and then people are like,
Okay,
your parents
come
are
on. I
twins.
think I won this one by
If
line.
you can't beat them, confuse them.
if you lying wins
Rule
a lot.
number one, though, to like winning. If you can't beat them, confuse them.
So you say Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And you just walk
run.
away.
I got you.
Or
Just
that's
run.
not your middle name. I don't know.
Or insult them.
Or
I'm
insult
sorry, I
them.
meant Governor Shit Pants. Right.
What?
So
Let's just avoid this scenario. Just
moving on,
remember
moving
people's
on.
names, or don't use names
The next
ever.
scenario
Okay.
is, Erin, you're the candidate.
Always.
You're at a debate.
Okay.
I'm gonna debate.
You're at a debate. And, I mean, there's people there, of course. You walk into the wrong bathroom, and it's your opponent.
Trick question,
Also
there's no
using
wrong
the
bathroom.
That's awful.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, we're
There
gonna
is
have to
not a
edit
wrong
Hey,
bathroom.
I could do
one out.
that.
We're
Yeah.
gonna-
No, I think it stays. Continue.
Continue. All right, so is that what we do? Is that
Oh,
how you
well,
save it?
I mean,
When you walked into the wrong
No,
bathroom.
you're the
he's
candidate, and you
obviously-
walk into the wrong bathroom.
I walk into the
to
wrong
your
bathroom
opponent.
a lot.
Using the restroom.
So I walk in, and face to face with Erin, who just exited the
Oh, we're running
urinal.
against each other.
Here's how I do it. Here's how I do it. You ready?
Oh, no,
Here's how I
I'm
do
not
it.
ready for
You ready?
this.
I say, that's the funniest looking urinal I've ever seen. And I just go and do it.
Oh no!
Follow that up, Erin.
I just think I just think I'd stay in the stall and don't ever leave. Never
I
show your face
think I say,
again.
there you are. The debate's already started.
Yeah.
Like, totally freak them out.
Can't believe I had to
So
come
if
into
it
women's
was- if
had to
it
bathroom
come
to
in the
find
wrong
you.
bathroom to get you.
If it was you and I walked into you, I would be like, oh no.
I wanted to go over a few talking points with you before the debate.
Yeah.
That,
the
for
only
sure.
Yeah.
You know, or say it's a constituent. Be like, you have no idea. I will go to whatever lengths to serve you. That's That sounds bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Take it back.
To whatever length.
That one's not getting edited.
That was not good.
I know you have a big ego for a reason.
Just looking to serve.
Got my vote, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No. Oh, no. I'm a Baptist.
That's
Okay.
always her go-to.
You
So,
were.
funny story now about the Baptist comment. Erin here always...
Anytime I mess up, I just I'm a
Anytime
Baptist.
she says I'm a
Whoops,
Baptist.
Didn't mean that.
I get pulled over. The cop goes, are there any drugs, anything in this car?
Oh,
No, sir, no, sir.
whoa. To preface this, I get
Whoa,
the
big
biggest speeding ticket
Oh, yeah.
I've ever gotten in my life. It's bad. We're not going to say what happened.
Oh, it was, yeah, she way over the speed limit.
And it's not on my record. That's all we're going to say.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
No comment.
No, I pled
funny
Nolo.
how those things happen.
I pled Nolo. Okay.
All right.
So,
Is that what it's called?
So my car, I just got my car this year.
Yeah.
It's got a 6-cylinder. I'm used to 4. Wasn't paying attention. It was late at night. My contacts just start glaring. And so, and so it wasn't
You're
looking
losing me.
down
You're
at
blaming
my
it on the
speedometer.
contacts.
Okay.
This is the whole law school part.
Typical Baptist.
Typical.
Baptist.
Yeah.
So I was going a very fast amount.
Yeah. But was that wrong?
Yeah, I mean,
Given all the
relative.
circumstances.
I
Relatively
identified the speed limit at 95.
Yeah.
Really? I like that.
Really, if I go faster, I'm at the place I'm supposed to be sooner.
Yeah.
So I'm on the road less time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
really safer at
Absolutely.
that point.
I think so.
I was scared for where you
I
were
think
going
so.
with that one.
So
Exactly.
I got the ticket, couldn't get out of it, tried to. Probably should. I shouldn't have got out of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So fast forward 3 weeks. Sam's in my car, and I had my court date, but I was waiting.
Yeah, she didn't want to drive.
So I didn't want to drive. And so I let her drive the car, and
It
she
goes fast.
30 over.
It
was
fast.
fast.
I should have gotten a ticket.
And then
You
she
didn't get a ticket.
No, listen to this.
Wait, so he's coming to the car, and he starts asking all these questions, and he's like, do you know how fast you were going? And she's like,
Yep.
yes. And then he starts asking, like, are there drugs in the car? And we're like, no. And then she's freaking out. She's like, well, I have, like, back medicine. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, that doesn't
muscle
matter.
relaxing.
Yeah.
He's like, and then he looks at me, he goes, do you have any drugs in the car? I was like, no, sir. I'm a Baptist. He goes, oh, you a Baptist? I'm going to let y'all off. Y'all have a good day.
I'm going to let y'all off with a warning.
No.
And
No
so should I say-
way.
No,
That's
Well, you've been
South
screwed,
Georgia.
buddy.
That
Wow.
is South
that's South Georgia for you.
South Georgia.
He was looking. He wasn't like a. He was not a traffic cop. He was a drug cop. He was out.
Yeah,
for
I gotcha.
Drugs and obviously like human trafficking and all that kind of stuff. Because on that specific interstate, I think that's where a lot of human trafficking does occur.
I don't
Just so
know.
you know, same story. Me and Scott, we're like going to jail.
Yeah, actually,
No matter what we say.
Matt, we're still in jail.
Yeah, we can say whatever we
you
wanted.
probably would have drugs in the car, and that'd
Yes.
be the reason.
No, we would be searched and everything. We'd be
Actually-
like handcuffed.
I
Here we
know.
go.
That'd
Yeah.
be so funny.
What is this? This is radio. You're going to have to
my new
talk.
abolish the DE. It's a great day.
To abolish
The DEA.
Oh, I
gotcha.
didn't separate that. I was like, what's the D?
abolish the Fed and the DEA.
The DEA.
There you go. Is that her?
It's a good day to abolish the DEA.
The D. The D.
The
D.
They could do good.
That's right.
Is that the end of our game?
Is that the end of our game?
Yeah, I had
Oh,
three.
that uncomfortable lull.
If y'all want to make, if y'all want to make another question up, my other one was gonna be choking on a hot dog, but
And we all know that was a Monica joke.
Yes.
Whoa.
If it doesn't, you're not doing it right.
So, you guys are here until this evening, right? You staying tonight?
yes, we are. We leave tomorrow. I think she's headed out though. I'm going to stay the night. Head up to Kentucky. Actually, I have a meeting with the professor tomorrow at UK.
Cool.
I'm going to try and get him to sponsor the Turning Point Club. That's actually
That is the
one of
hardest
our
part of the
biggest
job.
challenges with the
Yep.
job is getting the club registered with the school.
Getting
So that-
professors to put their name on the line to sponsor.
You got to think in academia, it's so taboo to align with conservative causes, as you know.
Yeah.
And this is what you do for a living. You obviously know that. But for the listeners, it's something that these people have built entire careers doing. They could be blackballed over this.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's
Well,
definitely...
yeah, especially if they don't have tenure.
Yeah.
They're very less likely to support a conservative group, especially Turning Point on campus.
Yeah.
yeah, it's very challenging. But I enjoy it because it is challenging. It's not easy, so you fight for it. And when you do get that club registered, your members tend to work really hard because they worked so hard to get to that state.
That's a good point.
So yeah, and so yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I've actually gotten turned down by 7 different professors at a school
Ooh.
until I found the head of maintenance to sponsor the group.
That's
Wow.
a true
I
story.
like that.
That's
Yeah.
a true
Really
story.
good angle.
Janitors
Yeah.
and maintenance. Yeah. Because, I mean,
Ag department too. Ag department philosophy.
business is usually a good bet.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss with the professors. I feel bad for them because they're kind of just like, well, I want to, but I actually don't want to. I don't know. And it's like, all right, and they have bigger things to worry about. Quite frankly, they're grading their students. Like,
And
Oh, no, they're not.
most sponsors are just going to
They
sign
just
their
sign
name.
it.
Yeah.
It's out of sight, out of mind at
yeah,
that point,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, definitely.
They're
we don't
drinking
really
liquor in their
need
office and just
sponsors.
putting grades on things. I mean, that's what those professors are doing.
But I guess I'd actually like to ask y'all what's been your experience from Politicon so far? Like, how have y'all? What's your reception on it?
Now we're co-hosting. We're going to put you
Yeah.
in the hot
Some
seat.
questions.
Everybody has been really nice and
Yep.
very receptive. We've had some candid conversations. And we were on Podcast Row yesterday,
Okay.
where we were the featured podcast, and it's a little different because you're not actually in the studio, where the banter is very easy. You got an audience for the first time, and then the audience decides to be interactive,
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday.
and it was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's different, and that's it's
Because, like, obviously, like, the people listening can't really hear
With
that.
us, yeah, they were interactive for sure. They were there to see someone with the Bernie camp later, so it was
Right,
all
well, the
it was a
people
Bernie
tuning
audience.
in wouldn't be able to hear the audience
Yeah.
that well, so...
Oh,
so,
no.
it was
away.
it was interesting because we side on probably 65% of the items.
Probably, yep.
We're very nice to each other. We'll do the
Yep.
insults, but it means nothing because we're friends. But
Sam's
when you
insults that I give her mean...
Yeah,
they mean
They
something.
mean, they mean something.
They mean everything.
She knows. She knows.
Everything.
She knows.
But the people that we met that were really impressive, like this Common Ground group that's next to us, just catty corner. Benton Stevens, which is a 7-year-old boy who is extraordinarily impressive, just as a human being, just with how independent he is, how courageous he is with talking to others who are 10 times his age or whatever. He's a cute kid. He's he's raising money for a border wall because immigration is important to him. And whether it's your stance or not to build a wall, or whether it's your position to not be for a wall, that's beside the point. In my opinion, it's about improving the dynamic of the conversation, having the open forum to where even a kid can do something that he believes in and raise money for it. And I think that's very special. So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then we had Ranked Choice Tennessee stop by we've had many interviews, but one of the best interviews we had on our show was with a former Maine Republican congressman
Yep.
who fell a victim to ranked choice vote, and it was a back and forth. It didn't get
explain
heated.
that?
Yeah, ranked choice is essentially where you go in and you will vote for all the candidates on a ticket based on your rank. So if I say I really like Samantha, but I really like Erin, but I like Samantha a little bit more than Erin.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
I thought we were cool. I'm leaving. It was nice meeting
Oh no!
you.
So I would put I'd rank you 1 and 2,
Okay.
and then what would happen is after the
general election. So in the general election, if nobody has a majority, right, then you eliminate the lowest vote getter, and all those votes go to that ballot's next choice, right? So there's no runoff. You just continually move people up. And
We did
actually,
that in political
Bruce
science.
lost.
Yeah.
Bruce Paulquin lost one of the first federal elections that was using that ranked choice system. A guy had been in Congress for 6 years, maybe 4 years. Really good guy.
Yeah.
And he was in a state where actually New England, I think, has maybe him as the only Republican congressman, right? And so he had 2 independents and a Democrat running against him, and he beat all of them. He beat them with like 46%. But when you took away the lowest 2 votes, the guy obviously went to like 56% or something like that. So, yeah.
Wow.
He ended up losing his seat
Wow.
and sued them and all that kind of stuff. So I was asking him lots of questions about that. He was very, very dug into his side as well.
So
And
this group is supporting ranked choice?
they are pushing ranked choice in all districts. Yeah.
So is it these types of people that we don't necessarily agree with every particular point that they stand for. However, that's not, back to my point earlier, it's not really the point to be cohesive on every single point. We can't have differences, and those differences are really important because it brings ideas, and compromise has to be made. And in my opinion, it's that area in the middle where compromise, people have to move to the middle to be able to have things compromised, to have good legislation formed. So that was really something that struck out to me as well.
It's funny you say that. Like, what I really enjoy in my job is watching people go after what they want to achieve on campus. They're challenging themselves. They're pushed out their comfort zone, trying to get these events, trying to get these meetings organized.
Yeah.
And it builds character. Now, whether they're going to have the same political opinion, 5 years from now on the wall, on the economy, or whatever it may be, they're still building their personality by trying to push this certain agenda on campus.
Yeah.
So.
Matt, what was your favorite part so far?
My favorite part of Politicon? Maybe arguing with the Bernie folks. I don't know. That was fun.
I don't even pay
getting on
attention
Podcast
to
Row was cool.
Yep.
We've interviewed these guys like twice now.
Meeting us is pretty high on the list.
Yeah,
it
was
should
pretty
be
high
It
on the
was
list.
actually. I mean, it was
obviously.
You were the first people that came by and allowed us to interview you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you said, and you were nervous, but you said you hung up your headphones. You said that was fun.
I don't think Sam's ever nervous. What are you talking about?
No, I think you were. I mean,
I do get nervous. Yeah.
But
I know how to play it cool though.
But it was one of those things where you brought Erin back because you said you like this, do this.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't even tell her about this.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things where after you finished, I almost said after we finished with you guys, after we finished interviewing you guys, we're like, they'd be really good at this type of communication, and I'm biased because I like podcasts, I do podcasts, but I think that you guys, it would benefit you to look at it further because podcasts, if you're interested in communications, of course,
right.
This is a medium that's not been used very much.
Very untapped. You're right.
And it's monetized like nobody's business these days, but it's still untapped.
Yeah. How's it monetized?
Ads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have sponsors or like?
You can.
You can. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we're at the point now where we're right there, and we're just trying to get our name out there a little bit more to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should keep going to conferences. I mean, I'd almost tell them to go to the Student Action Summit and interview.
Yeah, we need information on all the ones we can go to.
Interview
for sure.
these students.
Absolutely, you definitely need to be coming to Turning Points.
You know what you do though? You interview these students and act like you're going to publish it. And get them to follow you.
You mean person.
Idiot.
Very, very honest here. I'm being very, very honest here. But yeah, no, students would love this.
Yeah.
And you would get a following, even more of a following, and that's your market. So I'll definitely let you know about the
absolutely perfect.
So plug in Students Action Summit 2019.
Okay, Erin and Sam, if this were your podcast, and it kind of was today, how would you end it?
Ooh, I mean, with a USA chant. I'm gonna let you take this one.
World domination.
Worldwide.
She's like the brain every day, trying to take over the world.
It's scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a morning person, so I think I get the hours that Sam's asleep in the morning to be able to take over the world.
And then I'm a night person, so she's like falling asleep on the table, and I'm like,
no.
Oh yeah, last night I was
No, I can hang longer than Sam, 10 times longer.
All right, ladies, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Excellent
for
job.
having
Great
us.
voices, by the way.
Yeah,
we worked on
try
it
really hard.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do voice exercises in the car.
Yeah, she taught me her favorite. I just do heavy breathing.
Oh my goodness!
And that'll end our podcast. Thank you so much.
No editing of this at all.